Hi everyone, welcome back to our Star Trek Adventures game. At least it's something very old then that I would normally say on a stream. But it's not a Game of Thrones game, so I can't say that. Welcome back to our Star Trek Adventures campaign. No, nearly said it again. The Shackleton Expanse campaign. There we go. That's why. It's because we have a guest today, and when I spring guests on people, awesomeness happens. So I'm very excited about that. I'm a little discombobulated. And if you didn't notice already, we launched a game today. We launched Streams Machines on pre-order. So I've had a bit of a day organizing that and just making sure the team's all on top of it. So yeah. But I'm in my safe space now. I'm in my fun space. I get to vibe. My secret is that I spend about 20 minutes before we even get on the call together, just vibing to the Star Trek soundtracks and like rereading over my notes and stuff. And this one should be an absolute doozy. It should be a good one. So let's go around and see how everybody is. Anita, as is tradition, how are you?
I'm doing well. Last night we had our very first episode of a brand new series that I'm co-GMing for the first time. I'm sharing the GM seat with my friend Chaotic Darby, and it was her first time GMing on stream, and it was an absolute riot. She is a natural, and like I can't believe that she hasn't been doing this for like her entire life. It's incredible. But time and time again is Monday nights over on Critical Misses, and it's we're off to a really cool start.
Nice. That sounds so cool. Alrighty. And then Tom is next, I believe. Let me check my overlay again. It's always Tom. I don't know why I forget you, Tom, every time that you're second.
It happens. Most people do.
Oh no. How have you handled this heat this week?
It's been hot. But we had rain today. That mysterious liquid substance that comes from the sky actually rained. And what that did was skyrocket the humidity in the 90s. And now it feels even worse than it did when it was just sun. So, yeah, there's that. But on the plus side, I don't have to water every single bed in the entire garden. So there's a
You've got one of those days like in Stardew Valley when it rains and you can just go off and do what the fuck you like rather than having to actually tend to your farm. Congrats.
That's it. All I did was weed. So you know.
Wait, what?
But yeah, it was good. It was a good day. It's good. I'm excited for today to see what you've got planned. I'm always excited, Sam.
Who could tell? Who could say? I know who could say. Hello, Noir. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I get to do some extra Star Trek, so I'm very happy, and I get to play with some of my favorite people again. I'm missing a certain drone, but I'm sure there's something in the Star Trek universe that can make up for it.
We could give you what are the little floating guys again? What are the little floating guys, Susie? You know it.
The exocomps.
We could give you a little like exocomp.
Please don't. Saying. You know what happened last time we gave them a drone, Sam. You know what happened.
But I'm here. I'm here to see what this crew's been up to. So I'm very excited to just jump in and mess with y'all chemistry.
Awesome. And it's been so long since we played together. What have you been up to since then? I've seen your Clear Skies, right?
Yes, I've been playing Star Trek with the Clear Skies team, Clear Skies Perseverance. We played the role of the Federation members in Utopia Planitia, the ones that are building the ships. And there was a little break in the middle of the season where I got to run a Star Trek game set in the Clear Skies world. And I decided to see what's going on in the Kelvin universe and bring some characters from the Kelvin universe over to the Prime universe. And
so cool.
Shenanigans ensue.
That sounds awesome. You up to anything else?
Other than that, well, we're doing an Aliens game now, Beacon, which is spooky scary. Yeah, other than that, oh man, just the usual morning ritual and Gen Con table stakes doing the news on TTRPG. I'm very excited about this new game that y'all launched today. So I'm gonna have to get my sticky little hands on that and see what's going on. I think we're actually due to report on that this Friday on Table Takes. So...
Beautiful. Well, look, you know who to reach out to if you need any information.
Oh,
I got you, boo.
I'm just gonna be bugging you, like, tell me all about it. Give me your secrets.
Yeah, I'm ready to reveal them. I'm ready. Awesome. Thank you so much. Susie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared are you right now?
I'm gonna put this at about a 50.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, because so as past history, when you've brought a guest on, it is 9 times out of 10 been traumatic for my characters / me personally. And then you combo that with Noir, who I've played with a couple of times. I am fully aware of how much of a chaos goblin Noir is, and I'm genuinely worried. I'm worried that Burrell gets back from her suspension and then she's gonna get fired. She's gonna be like
immediately. No.
She comes back, she's like, nah.
Oh my god. I can't wait. It's incredible. It's not going to be that, promise you.
Okay.
Well,
good.
I can't promise you anything. Noir is in the driving seat when it comes to his Admiral. So, all right. As for me, I've been very busy putting together our kind of Dreams and Machines bits and bobs that you can all see out there on the interwebs. Let me do a little plug first of all. So if you head over to dreamsandmachines.com, or if you head over to the modiphius.net or .us web stores right now, you can see the starter set up for grabs. You can pre-order that now. And dreamsandmachines.com has a bunch of new videos, bunch of new information about the game as well, including interviews with the writing team as well, including Chris and stuff. So check those out if you're interested. Give it a little look, and we're going to reveal more and more about the factions and about the world leading up to launch at Gen Con as well. Very, very, very exciting stuff. Also, we've still got codes for the Roll20 module for Star Trek Adventures. So we're using it for our game. If you want to get your hands on it for free, we're giving away 2 copies tonight. So if you jam into chat, !Roll20, so that's exclamation point Roll20, then you'll be entered into the competition draw, which April will do for me very, very valiantly about halfway through the show and at the end as well. So stick around, find out if you manage to snag yourself a copy. But let's play. So we're well into it now, chums. We're like, where are we? Episode 8? Oh, all right. This is the first of a 2-parter. It's going to be that dramatic, friends. The second part, we're going to get Tim back, obviously, from his vacation. Hopefully, I think I worked my weeks out correctly. But yeah, this is part 1 of the Secrets of Bacchus. And Eka has the log this week. Take it away.
Eka's log. Stardate 48802.7. I've managed to track Jagadish down to a planet within the Expanse. It's one used by the Syndicate to fence goods around the sector. And I've chartered a ship of ragtag mercenaries, emphasis on the rags, to come along with me. From what I've heard, Rukaru 4 can be quite the opportunity, with young species from their galactic neighbors taking their first steps into the wider quadrant. Federation hasn't done much to get to know their new neighbors, and I imagine that they're just as naive as Earth once was before the founding of the Federation. Sounds perfect for someone who wants to make a quick credit, or develop a drug to suppress pheromones, or settle a feud.
It's quite poignant points towards the end of the log there. And friends, for the first time in the campaign, you are on board a different ship. You are on board the Mval's Call, which I'll show to you there. Eka, you are surrounded by this mercenary crew that you've hired to take you to Rukaru 4, which is this, as you've heard it said, a kind of hotbed of kind of trading and some such stuff like that. And as the ship drops out of warp into the system, heads towards the planet, where you can see some specks and some warp flashes head off as well from the various ships coming and going to this M-class planet. Tom and Susie, you've got a couple of supporting characters for us this week. Can you please introduce them? I've had a brief look over them. I want to know more about them, like what they look like and what they do.
I just saw the names.
I'm go first.
You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I am playing Kerry Moxon. He is a human. He is a mercenary. I suppose you could call him a sawbones. He essentially is kind of like a medic, but more of an underground medic. So it's emergency kind of trauma and stuff like that. That's his experience. He's not particularly tall. He's probably about 5'5". He's got a kind of like a deepish reddish hair that's kind of shaved around the ears and around the back. And he has a kind of patchy stubble that goes all around and with little bits of gaps there. He's got a very square, flat nose, but above that is kind of like deep green eyes. He's quite thin and lithe. And he carries his own kind of like little medical bag. But he also has a kind of serrated knife just hanging off onto the side, which is quite useful for emergency amputation.
Just hanging off the side.
You know, he's got like a little holster that kind of hangs off. And next to him is someone very dear to him.
All right, so that was Kerry. Can you tell us about Terry, please?
Terry is the mirror of her brother, as they are twins. Except instead of the shaved hair on the side, she just has one side shaved, and her deep red hair sort of falls down with the side shave.
Classic mercenary.
You know, she's tough. We gotta know she's tough looking at her. She is just a little bit taller than her brother, a fact that she never ever lets him forget. And she is very similar in build to quite thin, quite lithe. But she's dressed in very sort of nondescript, but also this is a featured character, so there's something about her outfit that's not background, you know? There's something a little, but it's supposed to look rough and ready, sort of like in and out, rough and tumble sort of character. She carries a phase pistol at her waist, which she sort of leans one hand on, like she's a gunslinger. And as she stands with her ankles crossed, you can see the glimmer of a knife in her boot.
Lovely. And Eka, you have managed to track down at least the location of Jagadish, the Orion gentleman that you first encountered in Eka's place a while ago, who was looking for some very specific flora by which to try and poison our beloved Baral. And rumor has it he's in Karu right now, on a kind of like a trading town, a kind of company town. And you'll also recognize as well from a couple of the ships, while they don't bear the signatures or the transponders, because why would they? The kind of behavior and the markings that for people in the know of the Orion Syndicate as well are kind of coming and going from the planet, as you can see from the console displays just above you there. With Kerry and Terry at the controls and moving in towards the planet, you've got a contact to meet in order to link up with Jagadish. What's your plan for these guys? What's your brief for these guys?
So the idea is that we get down, I have a conversation with this individual, and hopefully we get out. You're mainly here just in case things get violent. I'm not anticipating it, but it never hurts to be prepared.
There's sort of like a little wry smile from Terry as she looks over her shoulder. Yeah, well, they never plan on it getting violent. It always does. And she looks over at her brother and sort of like winks.
He smirks.
So, provide backup, muscle if necessary. We're not here to murder a man. We're here for information. And I'll be the one extracting the information.
So we keep our gob shut.
Methods you might be familiar with might be a little too abrasive.
It's fine by us. We'll just stand there looking pretty.
Well, one of us will.
Perfect.
Well.
Have you taken Tadok with you as well?
Yeah, Tadok is my backup.
Cool. Lovely. At the end of the session, we should remember to give him an extra thing. Unless either during the session or just now you can think of a new thing. He hasn't got any values, actually. Maybe we can come up with one by the end of the session. That's our little challenge. There we go.
Is to come up with a Vulcan value for my security guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, he turns to you from another console and he says, Eka, we are within transporter range.
All right. Showtime.
And with that, he sets you down nearby to where the contact will be at one of these designated locations where they can put transporter signals down, and then you can beam down. Got my little sound effects. And as you do, you find yourself on a pretty grimy planet. Immediately, you can tell this is a kind of... It's got all the trappings of the Syndicate pulling strings from backstage, but it very much looks like a company town. It's got workers coming and going, very dirty work as well. So miners who are actually at the proverbial coalface every day. They're not necessarily doing that in an automated fashion. So there's literally workers and labor being put to work here. And might not necessarily be all mining, but there are certainly, people in overalls, in rough clothing, and they're just, by the looks of them on the outskirts here, really eking a living out on this planet. It's kind of a pink hue to the sky and some rough clouds on the horizon and a kind of distant sun barely getting through and just about warming the skin as it beams down on you.
So Eka's dressed not as nice as they normally do. Very much Star Trek main character on a stealth mission kind of vibes. Has a hood up to hide the spots, and is wearing sort of like dark clothes, a little bit raggedy, I suppose. They are made to look careworn to not attract attention.
Okay. And you find people start to kind of move out the way for you as you walk through what you might call this street, but it doesn't look very street-like. Lots of little vendors and even kind of some shacks and stuff like that kind of popped up either side of the walkway here. It's still quite rocky and muddy underfoot, though enough trampling has given it a kind of fairly firm feel underfoot. So you head up to what looks like a kind of central area where there's food, there's probably alcohol in some fashion at some small bar and some such. And you can spot your contact from a little while away. And it's a younger Orion male, probably 13, 14, has the looks of kind of street smarts about him. and he is very aware of kind of all what's going on. He looks comfortable here, and he looks out for you until finally reaching eye contact with you from right across this little kind of central square.
And I'll sort of nod and then make my way over to a table off to the side.
And he meets you there. He lowers his hood, kind of looks up at the sun, squints a little bit, and kind of rubs his shaved head. Did you have any...
What's his name?
Oh my god. Feb. Why not? Let's go with that. Feb.
Hi, Feb.
How did you find getting here? You okay?
Yeah, everything worked out okay. How's your mom?
She's better, thank you.
All right, that's good to hear. And the person that I'm looking for?
I can't talk for long. The Syndicate know I'm planet side now, so I'm gonna have to shoot pretty quickly. But
yeah.
I mean,
Keep yourself safe.
Either way, we're gonna have to shoot pretty quickly. So Jagadish is in custody. With but Orion custody, not like, I don't know, some federal custody or something, you know?
Yeah. Either way, it's not hospitable.
No, so the information I do have is that he was basically grabbed, and whoever they are, they've taken over one of the old labs up to the north, and I guess they've got him working. But it's just weird they like grabbed him, and that he's like being held there against his will, rather than actually, like, you know, the typical Orion way is like, you know. And he's kind of being really awkward about it, but he's kind of giving you the kind of pheromones hand signal.
Yeah. Subvert their will and then put them to work. That tells me something very important. Thank you. Keep yourself safe. Keep your head down.
Thanks. He hands you a little pad. And on that, you've got some directions towards this facility, this like old lab, this like that was an old factory or something, has been abandoned for a little while. You can just about see it from the top of the hill as well to the north, like just this little grey square speck on the horizon of the hills there.
Sort of turn to the team that's with me. Lines have changed a little bit. This looks like we might have to do things a little bit your way after all.
Oh, that's good.
This is a retrieval and extraction. And your pay will reflect accordingly.
Oh, good, because I was going to bring that up. If it's going to cost more than, you know...
We need the subject alive.
Do a love?
Right.
Quick caveat. Do they have to be in one piece?
Preferably.
Right. I mean, I could stick things back together. Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Yeah.
All right. Well,
this is going to be incredible.
We've done it before. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. 4 times out of 5, they've come back in one piece. Don't worry about it. 3 times out of 5.
Except that time with the Aurelian.
So it's an 80 to 60% success rate. Incredible.
No, we're confident. We'll be fine. It'll be fine.
All right. What information have? There we go. I can start doing things. I have. Let's see. I have well informed. So I can add a point of threat to obtain information.
Absolutely. If you want to give me that, then I can
Absolutely. I'll give you a point of threat, and
Definitely.
I will use them as though I have obtained information.
Beautiful.
Before Theb leaves, I'd like to just sort of make sure that like I'm not being fed false information. I know Theb, but I want to trust but verify kind of deal. Would that be like an insight plus security?
Yeah, absolutely. But read me the talent again, the
Yeah, for sure.
connected thing, because I think you get some questions or just some general information, maybe.
Well informed. You have contacts everywhere, and you listen for news and rumors from far and wide. At the start of a scene, you may add one threat to ask the game master 2 questions about the situation or location, as if you had spent momentum on an obtain information spend. The answers you receive will be knowledge that you've gained from your contacts and news and rumors that you've heard.
All right.
In fact,
would you give me those questions then?
Sure. My questions are: how well fortified is this installation?
This installation is not well fortified, but it is very well guarded. A lot, and you probably know that because of maybe not like you're seeing employment records, but you've got an idea that there have been a lot of jobs recently just in this system, this small subsector where it's like guard duty, guard duty, guard duty, guard duty. Orion, definitely not. Syndicate, definitely not, kind of vibes about it.
And the second question I have is there a gap in the guard rotation that we can exploit?
Ooh, I would say that there isn't. I would say that it's very well prepped for and very well looked after.
Okay.
So it's not like you're going to be able to easily sneak your way in. It's more of you're going to need to try and take someone out or kind of act a little bit more provocatively first before you can then like slip under the radar.
Okay. A distraction, and then that'll help you slip in.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys like to do?
And
the mercenaries as well. You could do a bit more prep work if you wanted as well, or something like that.
Trying to figure out if there are any, like, I don't know, maybe deliveries or something to this facility. Like that there would be regular deliveries, or maybe like even recruitment.
Do you know it'd be really handy, Tom, if your twin had a focus in surveillance?
It'd be really good if she did, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that maybe she could do that.
I think that's a good idea.
Thunder Stealer.
We just chatted about it, yeah, over a drink.
Why don't you work together?
Absolutely not.
Good lord. Okay. So give me Susie as you're leading this. Insight and security.
Okay.
And Tom, you want to assist with one die, and you could give me another insight and security as well. Unless you want to take a slightly different approach to your sister and kind of help her in a slightly different way.
Would I be able to assist with an insight and command as well?
Absolutely. I love that.
Like a sort of
I'll let Echo to that.
For sure.
2 people can assist if you want.
Oh, okay. I may as well.
That's okay.
I'm gonna give us more die.
Stick with the whole insight security. See how that goes.
Yeah. And this is only going to be difficulty 1 as well, I think. So to get you some questions too.
Look at that 1 on that die.
Ooh. Okay.
This is why I'm the older twin.
Where did the planet go? Yeah, Slum's grimy. There we go. What do we get, lovelies?
We got 3 total.
Assist. 3 total gives you 2 momentum. And a single success does tell you that Tom's intuition's absolutely spot on. There are deliveries. There are deliveries leaving the facility a lot of the time. They look medically in nature. You have 2 momentum. If you'd like to obtain any more information, you can spend that momentum to do so.
Actually, it depends if Echo wants to know more information about those deliveries personally.
Echo, it's up to you.
I think I want to do and obtain information. I want to know what they're sending out.
Yeah, we're spending it.
Yeah, I'm spending it. I'm gonna ask what's in the crates. What are they sending out?
I need to get this right. It's a particular substance. It is Theragen.
Theragen?
Theragen. Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Do I know?
You could spend that other momentum.
Somewhat. So I actually have a focus in underworld medicine, aka drugs. So...
Oh, fucking great. Okay. Theragen is I'm not even going to get you to roll, and I'm not even going to get you to spend momentum. Your focus applies almost perfectly. Theragen is a Klingon nerve agent that, when diluted, is a popular recreational drug.
I will inform Echo of that.
Could have guessed.
I've had it once or twice.
Theragen is particularly popular in this sector and around the Expanse.
Our subject is quite a good chemist and has been known to produce these kinds of things.
We'll see.
And if I had to guess, the reason why he's being forced to under a gun is because the pheromones don't work on him anymore. Echo will keep that to themselves.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
Absolutely. What's your plan of attack here then, folks? I think what I want to do is get to a kind of like lynch point of like entry, infiltration. And then we'll move back over to the station.
Sounds good.
April Tommy just got raided by girls
Hello,
around these worlds.
raiders.
Thank you so much. Hello, this is my camera. Hello. Welcome to our Star Trek game. We're sneaking into an Orion drug facility.
Let's sneak into it. Let's bust in, folks.
Yeah, you said deliveries come out, but they don't go in.
Well, usually they would probably need supplies eventually, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There are some, yeah, absolutely. There are supplies coming in. There are like empty crates coming back in. So if they're taking stuff out, the people that leave planet side, eventually maybe they're coming back with empty canisters.
Okay. Let's see if we can sneak into some empty canisters and make our way in.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo this shit. Let's get in the
Sneaking into some
canister.
canisters, Metal Gear Solid style.
I mean, we could even like take out a driver and have one of us drive it, pilot it in, and the other be in the back.
Okay. So Tom, if that's your approach, or well, not necessarily your approach, but yeah, you can do it.
I suggested that.
All right. So who is leading this task?
Terry, I think you can.
Yeah,
take out
why
the guy.
not? Why not?
Why not?
Let me lead the.
All right. What is your approach? How are you helping this? I'm going to ask for a group check, so the two other of you are going to be assisting on this, and I'm going to make it difficulty 3 for
I've
3
got an
of you.
idea. Could I
Dangerous.
use underworld medicine to bring up a hypo spray of a knockout agent or a nerve?
Absolutely.
I could give to Terry to potentially use that on the driver of the guard, and then we can hide the body or dump it or whatever, and then take the uniform and then.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That I'd give you a medicine roll for that. And I think if you're making that, it's going to be either like control or it's going to be reason and medicine.
Okay, I'll do control and medicine.
Cool. So that's you like making that and preparing that. Eka, how are you assisting?
So Eka has the blueprints of the plant of the space up, and is charting out the point of egress, and it's also charting out our exit plan because we always need an escape plan. And I'm gonna. I can't really call on a value because I'm assisting, but I'd like to insight and command to just sort of be like, here's the plan of attack, do the whole montage, and like, you go here, and this is how we get out.
Yeah, perfect. All right, you can assist with those.
Okay.
All right, Susie, which one are you? You're Terry, right?
Yeah,
there we go.
I'm Terry. Yeah.
I'm my focus
in
in counter intelligence probably wouldn't apply, or black market dealings.
Them combined, I'll take it.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'll take it for sure. All right.
Let's go.
Terry, how's this running?
So I'm gonna knock out the guard, and then I'm gonna steal his uniform, and then drive the vehicle.
All right, daring and security time, baby. This is difficulty 3 for the 3 of you.
Okay.
And you're rolling a total of 4 dice between you. So, Susie, did you want to roll any extras? You've got a point of momentum as well in the pool, which would get you an extra dice if you want.
Shall we?
I think it's pretty important that we make this successful.
Yeah. All right.
Well, look, in 2d20, there is a such thing as a success with cost. So you can, even if you fail it, I can be like, well, okay, but you succeed, but we're going to leave some evidence behind or something like that, you know? So, yeah. Because I'm also storytelling interested in getting you into the facility as well.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward if we don't even get there.
Oh, you flobbed it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's a complication from Tom.
So there's no way we can make it now unless I roll as crit.
I did too much in the hyper.
One success.
It's one more success. So it's 2 successes with a complication. I'm going to bank that 2 threat. And yeah, you manage to leave the guards woozy, but not entirely knocked out. But there's not really an opportunity. Well, okay. Quick snap fire choice for Terry here.
Uh-oh.
Kill him or just move on?
Terry will kill him.
Okay.
She's cutthroat.
A quick, out comes the boot knife, a quick stab. He's down and rolled into the bushes. And you believe you're out and off towards the facility. Okay. We are going to head back to Narendra Station now, where Chief Burrell, back in your freshly pressed Starfleet uniform, you find yourself once again in a bit of a familiar situation like we did in the first episode, in the hangar bay, waiting on a shuttle of an arrival. This is a particularly important arrival, it seems, somehow, as this is someone from Starfleet Command is coming aboard the station. You haven't been told very much, and you don't know who this is exactly, but you believe they're a member of the Admiralty.
Oh, boy.
And it's been requested that as soon as they come aboard, the senior staff are brought to a meeting, and you're going to convene up in the ops level. So there's like one of the boardrooms is put aside for you, and the senior staff are beginning to make their way towards that. And so with that, one of the slightly more longer range Starfleet shuttles starts to make its way through the big Stardock doors, glides down towards you, and lands in front of you on the shuttle pad just there. You stand ready to receive your guests, maybe flanked by a member of the security team, just as a kind of standard procedure. And the door out the back of the shuttle slowly fans open. And Noir, please describe our Admiral for us.
You muted, Ma.
Nope. There we go.
Nope.
The Admiral has technical issues.
Okay,
Oh,
just use
there
this
we go.
temporarily. You see a very short Tellarite in an admiral uniform and a coat over the admiral uniform. This is someone who is very clearly showing signs of being cold. And he just kind of looks at everybody who's receiving him and goes, and also he's a Tellarite, long, brown braided beard and thinning, black hair on top. Can somebody get me somewhere comfortable? I have been on this shuttle for entirely too long.
So Burrell is stood to like military attention. She's receiving an admiral. She's in her uncomfortable dress uniform. But as soon as the admiral says that, there's a little smirk at the corner of her mouth. And she's, welcome to Narendra Station, Admiral. I'm Chief Petty Officer Burrell. We'll get you up to ops. If you
Would
wouldn't
you
mind
give
following me.
Noir a brief description of Burrell for us?
Yeah, Burrell is a half human, half Klingon. She has dirty blonde hair, which is sort of roughly chopped around her sort of chin, like in a sort of bob. She has quite shallow forehead ridges. They're not the full Klingon ridges. She has like a deep tan skin, and you can see there are scars across her visible skin. And she's about 5'8". She's pretty strong looking, but she's holding herself. Short squad, let's go. But she holds herself as though she's like 6'5". She's someone short with a big presence.
All right, well, lead the way.
The Admiral is followed by several fairly high-ranking. There is a commander amongst them, and a couple of lieutenants, maybe a lieutenant commander as well. All in the what the operations or the security gold uniforms. They're carrying a few trunks with them. One of them even carries a grav lift down with them as well. And they're already like flicking through pads and looking around the station and kind of eyeing it up suspiciously already. I want everyone to note that as we've introduced the Admiral at the beginning of this session, Noir, you start with your own pool of 3 threat that you can personally spend for your dice rolls and some such. You're also going to be spending the threat along with me for your rolls and stuff like that. As this whole thing is not feeling like it's a particularly friendly visit. Oh, we still can't hear you on that mic.
I was just saying he's a Tellarite, so he loves to complain. So this works out perfectly.
Just using the threat for complaints. I like it. Okay. And so yeah, Burrell, it's your duty to show him up to ops.
Yeah, and as we're walking, she's pointing stuff out, and she'll probably accept like a pad from a passing ensign or something, like do and then pass it off again, because she's always working. But yeah, up to ops. No sort of like detours or anything. I just get the Admiral right where he needs to be. But she's also kind of like a little bit at all these people that are like, eyeing everything up. She's not suspicious, but she's always keeping an eye out as like basically ops chief. She's always got to be aware of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in the midst of like you taking him, he's just gonna stop suddenly and go, exactly what are you expecting to happen?
I'm not sure what you mean, Admiral.
You seem nervous.
It's not every day we get an Admiral at the station.
If you were doing your job correctly, there would be no need to be concerned if an Admiral came, now would there?
I always do my job to the absolute best of my ability, Admiral.
Your nerves say otherwise.
Well, when you serve 15 years in the Klingon Defense Force, you gotta always keep your head on a swivel.
I served among quite a few Klingons. They seem to be a little more confident than you. I wonder why that is.
She just sort of like shrugs a little bit.
Continue.
And
Carries on.
Admiral, as you look around the corridors here, and even in the turbo lift, a couple get on with you, and you've heard this reputation of Starbase 364 as well, that the Klingons cohabit and co-operate this station. And so there's quite a few Klingon officers, both in battle dress uniform, but also in like some civilian or some slightly more kind of like just operators' clothes and stuff like that, walking around the station with you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I think he's kind of locked in on Varel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's just gonna keep hulking. Like there's something there's something about the person that's leading him. I think he wants to like almost make an example. So do you have any idea why I'm here? I'm curious to know what my receiving team is aware of.
I do not, Admiral. I was asked to meet you and take you up to Ops, where senior staff, including myself, will be briefed.
What can you tell me about your senior staff?
They're all incredible at their positions. I can't think of anyone else better that I could serve with.
Now tell me what you really think about your senior staff.
Maybe after we've had a couple of glasses of blood wine.
I agree. All right, enough of me distracting. Let's get there so we can get this over with.
And those turbo lift doors swish open, and in front of you, the operations deck is staffed by a diverse crew of Klingons and Federation personnel, busy about their day, busy reviewing repair logs, scheduling flights, looking at freight coming and going, also checking over various telemetry and scans coming in from the 20th Fleet here at the station, the USS Bellerophon, the USS Venture, and the USS Thunderchild, going about their business here in the Expanse. They're all out. They are not docked here at present. And there are even a couple of the small craft as well, the runabouts, off on various small expeditions and missions, just scouting the local space here in the Expanse. But you make your way, you follow Burrell through to a kind of observation lounge style thing, big boardroom meeting table in the middle, and those nice Star Trek swivelly chairs either side, and at the very top where there's a blank screen just behind. The very top of the table, standing and speaking to the Federation staff that are here, you'll know Burrell, Klingons, is Admiral Hebert. So Admiral Hebert is an kind of older middle-aged woman, very short grey hair, human, with a kind of white to olive skin, and she turns as those glass doors swish open in front of you to get you into the boardroom. And she takes a few steps towards you in her Admiral's uniform as well. And she goes to shake your hand. She says, "Admiral, welcome aboard Narendra Station."
Admiral, this is a operation you have here.
Thank you. We're very proud of the keep on the borderlands that we've managed to establish here.
I see. Well, are you aware of why my presence has made its way to your ship or to your station?
I have to admit, Admiral, that I was not fully briefed, although I was told to expect someone from the Admiralty under the guise of Starfleet security.
That would be me. I have a few questions about a few of the operations that I've noted from here. I was hoping that you might be able to clarify some things for me.
Of course, please take a seat. And she goes over to the replicator as well, and replicates up like a small spread of stuff. There's a little bit of a mix here, as well as some kind of like you describe them as fusion cuisines, like fusion dishes between like Klingon and like some Federation specialties as well. And you can tell she's kind of trying to butter you up as well as she describes this.
Is there gak poutine?
And there's like gak poutine as well at the very end.
I feel like we should get an extra threat for that.
Burrell's just like, she's got to be professional, but she sees the poutine and she's like,
yeah. But yeah, please sit down.
Yes. Well, thank you for the, just looks at the spread, hospitality, but we should really get to the matter of it. Are you aware of the Bacchus system?
This system? Not off the top of my head, Admiral.
Well, not much to gather from that, except a little disappointing that you aren't more aware of the systems that we have charted or attempted to chart. It is a system under quarantine, you are aware. Well, you may not be. No one under your purview has made their way to the Bacchus system, have they?
If it was under restrictions from Starfleet navigational, general operations, then no, we wouldn't have.
That's the thing about Starfleet. We have rules and regulations, but we also have explorers and those that think that rules only apply to some of the personnel of the Federation, not all of them. It is our responsibility in the Admiralty to ensure that everyone understands that there is no exceptions to the rules. You wouldn't happen to have anyone that might think they are exceptional, would you?
You're talking about Starfleet officers, Admiral. Half of them believe that they're exceptional in some fashion, and about half of them actually are.
That's why we have a hierarchy, so that I don't have to sift through your entire regime. I can simply ask you, and you should know where the problem spots are. The troublemakers.
He does glance at Burrell very briefly, just as a split second, unconscious look. Nothing we can't handle, Admiral. But you're welcome to see our logs, you're welcome to investigate that. We haven't been to the Bacchus system. And she's kind of like pulling up readings, and she's pulling up logs and charts of where they've been able to explore and scan along the Expanse. And she is telling the truth. Absolutely. And then as she performs like a quick search, Burrell, you can see on the display for the boardroom table that the Bacchus system is kind of on the more Federation side towards the Romulan neutral zone of the Expanse. So this is kind of like in your sector. And yeah, it's essentially got a kind of like, do not visit kind of quarantine effect on it, basically.
I was hoping that this would be a simple matter of a conversation. I will take your invitation to dig deeper. I do not move for rumors, and I do not ride a shuttle, a particularly uncomfortable one, for things that we are not certain of. So, since it appears, and he starts to stand up, since it appears that whatever troublemaker is outside of your observation, we shall look a little deeper ourselves. I'll just say this very clearly for everyone to understand. The Federation is imperative to the stability of the galaxy. There may be some questioning on the motives of the decisions that have been made, but I assure you, whatever decisions have been made, they have gone through brilliant minds that have far more information than you. I should begin my work. Thank you for the hospitality.
And Admiral Herbert takes the pad off you that you kind of offer her, and she looks and sees. You can see her face start to drop, or she's kind of like reading over some directives or some orders or something like that. And she just sighs and she says, "Very well. My senior staff are at your discretion."
Thank you. I think he's going to. He wants to take a look at anything that has come into the inventory of this particular place within the last 2 to 3 months. He's looking. You know what he's looking for,
mm-hmm.
And he's like lasered in on seeing if anything came in. And he's also looking for anything that might be mislabeled, like somebody tried to slip in contraband under a different labeling.
All right. If you want to give me an insight and security check,
yes,
then
let's
let's make this difficulty 0, I think. So your security staff are going to lower that from 1 to 0. And I genuinely don't think that there's anything that's happened so far that would kind of block your way into finding that out very easily. So yeah, all their reporting, all of their cataloging and stuff has actually been very like above board. So do you want to roll any other dice as well, or do you want to save your threat for the interviews?
We're gonna save the threat for the interviews. Okay, this is my first time on the Roll20 of this. How do I roll the? I got insight and security selected.
Yeah. So you click insight and security, and then on the right hand side you've got task roll there, and there's a little Starfleet button, and that's the number of dice you're rolling as well. So you've got 2 selected. That's right, and then you click on task roll, and it should give you the number of successes that you get.
Hell yeah!
All right, 1 success. So that gives you 1 point of threat to spend. Let's change that over because I clicked the wrong one. On any momentum spend you want to use, particularly relevant here is obtain information, obviously.
Yeah.
So let me tell you the actual answer to the success that you got as well first, before answering any other questions you might have. So what you are looking for and what's been catalogued and brought in onto the station is entirely obvious to you from the logs and the record keeping that Starfleet has done. They have been entirely above board in cataloguing and keeping in their professional logs as well as their personal logs all of the artifacts that they've collected here from seemingly the same kind of source. They all have the kind of trappings of ancient technology from a civilization that they haven't accounted for yet. It is all of a kind of like, strange composite of like minerals and metals that have been put together and have seemingly their own power sources and their own strange controls with these narrow little blue veins that run the surface of them. They even managed to bring back from a mining planet that they were responding to a distress signal to Chief Burrell, who you met just now, and also a Lieutenant Harvey, managed to bring back with them a obelisk, this big old thing, standing a good 10-15 feet tall, that again has these deep kind of blue controls, energy veins, something within them that was releasing a pulse that was kind of disabling ships, they were on a runabout, and it kind of knocked them out the sky. And they brought that back, and they've actually been trying to scan it and look into it on the laboratory, on the science levels of the station. So they've got a lab set up. And then there was also a Federation archaeology team that brought back some more kind of handheld artifacts that matched the similar kind of composition and similar kind of controls and stuff. And that was not too long ago. That was like a week or two ago. And they had a bit of an incident where it seemed as if one of the holodecks actually transported them to a planet that was no longer there. And that was brought back, those artifacts were brought back on the Venture, the USS Venture. And the USS Venture's logs tell a story of them rescuing the archaeology team from the planet. And just as the star went supernova, just about managing to escape the system, before the star system seemed to, according to their sensors at least, just disappear.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, and then their first officer of the USS Venture, an NPC, it doesn't really matter who they are, as a Betazoid, had some kind of psychic incursion and proceeded to try and take one of the artifacts back to this planet through the holodeck portal thing. Before Lieutenant Harvey managed to disable it. And now the artifacts are in the science levels in the labs there.
So first off, he's keeping track of everybody who has come in contact with these artifacts. Are there any names that pop up more often than others? I'm looking for like maybe the top two.
Lieutenant Harvey, for sure, crops up a lot in those reports. And it was Chief Burrell who was with Harvey when they first found this very first obelisk artifact.
There's also a Dr. Cella.
Oh, yes, sorry. And a Dr. Cella was on that first mission in the runabout as well.
And then I was in the holodeck. I was part of the transport to a different planet.
There's also a report of this Dr. Cella chasing down the Betazoid with a Type 2 phaser rifle through the hallways.
And this is all logged and is not public, you know what I mean? But it's it's accessible information to all Starfleet personnel on the station with at least the right rank and clearance.
He's just gonna look at anybody that's assisting him and just go, I need Lieutenant Harvey and Chief Petty Officer Burrell in a room ready for interrogation immediately.
And there's a nod from the, typically bog standard human security officer, and he heads out the doors with a swish of the doors closing. I want to drop back into the planet now for a little bit of that time. And we're going to pop back to the planet. There we go.
So we just finished climbing the world's biggest ladder.
Uh-huh.
As a song
Yep.
played in the background.
As a song played in the background. Yeah. Okay, so what you want to be on a vantage point. So you're on like you are on, let's think, I mean, it's kind of a lab factory type thing, right? So you are on one of the you're on like a balcony thing just outside of like a like a chimney or a tower type thing, or maybe there's a solar array just around you there. And so you've got a vantage point down into like the yard and also through a few of the windows, maybe on the roof and around the walls of the actual like facility itself. On the way in, you've spotted a bunch of guards, different species, but there are quite a few. Like the Orions definitely outnumber other species here as the kind of mercenary guards that are guarding this place. It's got that kind of smell of like synthesizing chemicals and toxic waste in the yard.
I think Terry's looking through Star Trek binoculars, which are just normal binoculars but in a weird casing. And she takes a whiff. She's like, smells like you, that does, Carrie.
Sweeter smell than that.
Ugh.
Yeah. Why are we talking about what people smell like? All right. The sooner we locate Jagadish and get him out of here, the better. If we have to, we might have to go loud coming out. That's where you two come in.
Never been a problem for me before.
All right. I'll make sure that Jagadish is secure and we can... Tadok is currently on the ship above, correct?
Or here if you want him, because like you could set the transporter to go and then you just all step on the pad and then off you went, and like there's no narrative reason why you couldn't then just like ask for your ship to beam me back up again.
Yeah, I think that would be the plan. Would be like emergency beam out as soon as we get Jagadish.
Yeah, so Tadok is kind of tapping on like an inside wrist thing. He's got like a little control thing. Yeah, so he's like, I'm just setting the coordinates now.
All right, let's see if we can find him. Is there any particular area where it looks like the chemicals are being produced, like a internal lab that we can try to get at?
I would say, Kerry, what would you say? And we'll just take this as the case. What would you say is like the most obvious place for where they're making the chemical goodness?
So a lab probably is somewhere slightly different than where they're mass producing it, because mass production is like a thing. So you go to the lab to get the kind of specific kind of thing, and then you put that in the system, and then it mass produces it.
Yes.
So essentially, he'll go. I'll suggest we go to where the air is starting to get a bit cleaner. Hence, labs tend to be as clean as possible.
Clean and sterile.
Yeah.
All right. Follow the nose, I suppose. I guess smells do have to come into this. Ugh. So that's the plan. Is we're gonna try sneaking in the direction of. It might be a place that's a little bit heavier guarded.
I mean, can we? So, are we in the facility now?
Yeah.
Cool. Is there any sort of? So, is there a uniform that everyone is using, or is it just kind of like whatever they just throw?
It's mercenary guys,
okay. So I'll go, well, the best thing to blend in is to pretend, you belong. You're one of these geezers, yeah? You're one of these people that you go in. So if you need to go into the lab, you need to believe that you need to go there. So we could be, I don't know.
It's the idea that if you walk with enough purpose, you can get anywhere with a high vis and a clipboard.
Well, I wouldn't use a high vis and a clipboard, but yeah, generally, yeah. That's how I get places most of the time.
I'm gonna pull out the binoculars. I'll take them from Terry and sort of look. Are all the guards like the mercenaries Orion, or is there like a mix?
There is a mix for sure. Yeah. So you could try and blend in legitimately. The guards themselves are just carrying like disruptor pistols by the looks of it. They're not like, really heavily armored or anything like that.
Are they just normal workers? Just like, I don't know, lugging barrels or whatever.
There are a few as well, yeah. So, a couple of people loading barrels. This is the particularly burly Orion guys that are loading barrels and stuff like that, loading containers. But then there's a couple of people who aren't as built, different species, as well as Orion, who are just making sure that like the machinery is going for the mass production side of things. You can see through one of the windows from the vantage point that you've got that like down through the kind of like skylights, that they're just kind of like boop, boop, and then they're kind of moving off to a different conveyor belt, and then they're working them a little bit more.
All right, let's.
I think we blend in with
try to sneak, and if that doesn't work, we try to blend in. Walk with purpose, walk in a direction we need to go, and if we come across trouble, that's what I've got Terry and Carrie for.
Yeah. Don't you worry. We'll get you where you need to be.
So, would this be like a presence security to try and walk with purpose in this
It absolutely
situation?
would. It absolutely would. Yeah.
I'd love to try it. I'm good at presence. I'm really good at presence.
I mean,
all right.
With an assist, how would you like me to assist? Presence as well? Presence and...
I would like you to assist with presence as well. It's by default is security, but if you can convince me otherwise.
No. It's gonna be security. Afraid not, no. There you go, I got you a 1.
All right.
And Susie, I'm going to need you to roll for me presence and security to walk like you meant to be there.
Okay.
Strut.
High vis and a clipboard. Nobody's going to ask where I'm going.
And do any of my focuses apply?
Do you think there's a focus that applies?
I'd say, let's see, persuasion.
You're not really conversing with people.
That's true.
Black market dealings, maybe.
Maybe it's a tough
stretch, though.
Stretch. I can say no. You can say no.
Nope.
That's perfectly fine. 1 success from me, so that's 3 successes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with one of the guards and see just how badly they do. That's not what I was after. Right, so I'm going to use insight and security, and I'm going to roll a couple more dice. So I'm going to go down to 7 threat, so that's 4 dice. Let's see what we get. It's pretty much a flat 50-50 on each dice. Let's see. Strong, a 9, an 8, a 9, and a 6. That was strong. That was good. All right. So there is a do you ever see the animated series with the big bird aliens?
Yeah.
So there's like a big yellow bird alien with a disruptor pistol like hooked behind their shoulder, I guess.
They're Aurelians, what they're called.
There you go. So an Aurelian heads over to you and is like, I'm twisting head a little bit. I've not seen you before.
Just came on last rotation.
So I'm going to need from you presence and command, I think.
I'd love to.
And this is going to be like persuasion, I
Persuasion
think.
flies.
Yeah, why not?
And we're going to contest it, I'm guessing?
No, this is going to be difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2? Okay.
That's the security stat. So let's go with that. Any more dice? Do you want to roll any more dice? Here's the important question.
That is an important question. I mean, my presence is an 11, my command is a 4, so it's a 75% chance of me getting it on the die. So it is a difficulty 2, and I'm rolling 2 dice.
There is a 25% chance we'll have to kill Big Bird, though.
There is a 25% chance we'd have to kill Big Bird. You know what? Let's gamble.
All right.
It's 2 successes.
Boom. Big Bird lives another day. All right, yeah. And they're like, the credit's good enough for you too, huh?
Yeah, the credits are great, but they're and you know how often they're switching out folks around here.
He's turning into a Skeksis, and I'm about it. Yeah. All right. I'm getting into trouble.
You neither. Hey, if they've got any of those, do they have any of the good ration packs at the commissary? They feeding you okay? Like I said, I just got
Ask for Crank.
Ask for Crank?
But if he offers you antimatter oil, don't drink it.
Oof. Don't have to tell me twice.
And he scuttles off on his little rotation.
Awesome.
All right. And where do you head?
We're going to go towards a place where I can see that there's a fair, probably an enclosed area that might have a couple of guards posted outside.
Sure. So you,
would I be able to make like a insight and security to sort of like
for sure,
suss out like where that would be in the facility now that I've sort of we've blended in?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll make this difficulty 2 as well, I think.
Love to. I'm definitely going to buy an additional die for this.
Oh, no problem. It's 8 threat. Yeah, insight and security. Black market dealings definitely applies here, I think. Yeah, I love that focus.
All right. I should have. I was gonna call on a value before the roll, but I didn't. Too late now. Yeah, that's complication.
Perfect. As you kind of scope out where the heavier guards are located, so you make your way into a atrium that, as you enter, your heart sinks, and I think Terry as well. You've definitely got this like bad vibes about this location, as there's like no one else in this atrium just right this second. And then from behind you, you hear, well, I thought you were in town.
Well, it would be rude if I didn't decide to stop in. I'm guessing it's Ella Rule.
And Ella Rule, flanked by disruptor-wielding guards on either side of her. In more of a thuggish, outfit. It's the we're going for the smuggler, tight leather pants, like little cropped jacket, like Star Trek vibe, right?
She's hot. I get it.
And she's looking hot. Yeah, hair still perfectly coiffed though, even in the smuggler look. And she says, "Do you mind telling me what you're doing here?"
Well, I heard you were doing business in town, and I thought that I'd pop by and see what kind of operation you've got yourself into here.
Do you have my artifact?
Starfleet has been less than cooperative in giving that back.
I've
You know,
heard.
Federation types.
Still doesn't really explain why you've snuck into my lab.
I need some information.
Is that all? You could have just called.
From Jagadish.
Oh. Interesting. And what
And
exactly?
if I knew you would have him, I would have called.
And what is exactly that you want from him? I mean, he's a little tied up right now.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, never mind, doesn't matter. That's between me and Jagadish.
That was trill humor, I'm sure, and I don't get it.
Oh, it was more of a bondage joke, but it's okay.
Right. Curious. Anyway. And why would I let you see him when we didn't exactly work out on the station?
Well, there were several ways that we didn't work out. Just yet another. Anyhow. Well, Jagadish might have got himself on the wrong side of a Klingon blood feud. And honestly, if the Klingons find out that he's here, it's not going to be good for business.
We'll have to see about that. Wouldn't want a Klingon commando force trying to break their way in, would we?
No.
All right, Anissa, I need you to make a roll.
Ah.
Okay, back is real.
Eka has so much confidence, and I am an anxious being.
It's where the roll comes in. Okay. Yeah. So meeting in this kind of social conflict, you're essentially trying to get access to Jagadish.
Mm-hmm.
She is probably trying to like get you on the hook for the artifacts, I reckon. That was her whole thing, right? Before?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to roll. How much is that? How much is that? I'm going to roll 4 dice. That's going to cost me 3 threat.
Presence and command from me.
Mm-hmm. Same from me.
All right. I would like to call upon a value.
Do it, do it, do it.
8 lifetimes of business acumen.
Okay.
And assuming my focus in persuasion applies.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I'm also going. I think the 8 lifetimes also comes in with the fact that Koshran, my previous host, was involved with Ella Rule, and I might know her tells just a little bit.
I love that so much.
I'm
going to increase her complication range by 1 because of that as well.
And quick. Actually, you know what? I think it'll be fine because I'm assuming my focus on persuasion applies here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, sounds good. So that's 1 dice with an automatic 2 successes, and I've got 2 more dice that I can roll. Can I spend a threat to buy an additional die?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, here I go. This is your difficulty. Oh, there's a complication in there as well.
Okay.
3 successes is what you're looking for.
4 successes with the calling on the value.
Beautiful. I'll give you that momentum. Okay, yeah. So you managed to talk her round to allowing you access to Jagadish.
Mm-hmm.
Bear in mind that complication there, Anita. What little boost, what a little benefit, what extra little thing would you want to get out of this encounter with her?
What cheeky little benefit do I need from this?
Access.
Well, I'm going to be getting access, I think, from the success of the persuasion.
You are, yeah.
But what else would I like?
I've got something vaguely plotty.
Yeah, if you can,
I can give you as well.
If you've got a vague plot hook that you can toss my way, I'll bite.
She even offers you. I have a shipment going out soon, actually, to a place I think you'll be very familiar with. At dear Narendra Station of yours, of course.
Ah.
If you can...
you're doing business on the station?
Of course. Where is this drug called? You lost it again.
Theragen.
Theragen. Theragen's very popular on the station.
Interesting. I wasn't aware.
If you can get that to me, I'll even cut you in.
I think we might have something we can work together on.
Fantastic. You have 10 minutes with the man. Now, don't waste it.
I appreciate it.
And the disruptor pistols are lowered.
Thank you. Sort of dust myself off, straighten this way.
Of course. And she just kind of lets you head through so that you go first. And as she kind of waits in her atrium, and she's, her guards indicate the door to go for the 3 of you towards, and she just yells after you, remember, never trust an Orion. Ever. She says that with a little bit of
I made that mistake
bitterness
once. I'll walk in.
All right. Jagadish is working away at a lab, kind of flicking between pads and controlling various automated and mechanical substance mixes and stuff like that. He's looking he was looking quite lithe before, but he's looking quite scrawny now. Just that they're keeping him in quite rough conditions, whereas you would expect this just plays into his resistance to the Orion pheromones. That a lot of the other Orion males are doting and loyal and very well kept for a mercenary crew. But he, in stark contrast, is not looking great. He's got some scrapes and bruises, some cuts and scabs and stuff. And he looks up at the door, just glances at you, glances back at his work for a second, and then turns slowly back around towards you, and he just says, "You.
What did you get yourself into?"
It wasn't by choice."
No, I thought not. All right. I'm mostly here because I need information. And unfortunately, as much as I want to help you get out of here, not sure how much I can do with Ellerol looking over my shoulder. We've got 10 minutes.
I understand. And the doors swish closed on our point of view. So I want to drop back to the station. Still got quite a bit to cover. So, who do you want first, Noir?
I want Harvey.
Okay. So, Lieutenant Harvey, you are summoned by Starfleet security, essentially. A few officers that you don't recognize. You're brought up to the Starfleet intelligence offices that are here on the station. There is a small Starfleet intelligence department here, and it's no secret to the station personnel on Narendra Station. But it's been it's not seconded, that's the wrong word, isn't it? But it's been taken over by this Starfleet Command security presence, I guess. It's all unfamiliar officers, all at their doors and stuff like that. And there's one guiding you to the interview room. And Noir, what do you want to have set up for this interview? What's the room like? What's the vibe?
Bold and intimidating, and this is very clearly you're at the principal's office now type of vibe.
Okay. And so you are greeted, Harvey, by an Admiral. Tellarite Admiral, quite short and as described by Noir before.
So Harvey will, because he's probably because it was immediate he wanted to speak, right? So he was probably halfway through maintenance on a runabout. So he's probably got dirt on his face and in his hands, and as he comes out, he tries to straighten his uniform that's probably a bit dirty as well. You wanted to see me, Admiral?
Have a seat.
Thank you. He sits down and he's like, when someone sits down and every muscle in their body is tense and the hands are kind of just, he's like that.
Lieutenant Harvey, I've looked over your record. I've looked over the records of number of Starfleet personnel, and after a while they all start to read the same: excellent in their field, excellent in their field, excellent in their field. And if everybody's so excellent, then I suppose we need to redefine our definition of excellence. I have a few questions for you.
Yes, Admiral.
I love efficiency, so the first question that I'm going to ask you is, are you going to waste my time?
No, Admiral.
Good. Have you or anyone that you know been to the Bacchus system?
Do I know that system, Sam?
You probably haven't even heard of it.
Not to my knowledge, Admiral. I don't know where it is.
These artifacts. I'd like for him to have a data pad with mainly the obelisk. He slides it over.
Yep.
What do you know about these?
Well, this is the obelisk that we found on the planet that we crash landed on. It was sending out pulses of I wasn't entirely sure what it was, but it would cut all engines, and which caused the crash with ourselves and the Romulan scout ship. It's all there in the report. Is there anything? I know very little about it. It's alien technology.
Did you notice anyone acting peculiar once in the presence of this artifact?
The obelisk? No, not to my knowledge. The other artifacts of the archaeological team, the first officer for the USS Venture. Very, very odd. They seem to was sensitive to what the artifacts were emitting. I think it's above. I have no real knowledge of biology or telepathy or anything like that. I stick with engines, Admiral.
Interesting. Were you present at the discovery of this artifact?
The obelisk or the other ones?
Any of them.
I was there with the chief. Chief Petty Officer Burrell. I was with her, along with Dr. Oh my God, I can't remember her name. Sorry.
Chella.
Chella. Linaris Chella.
Linaris Chella. Thank you, Linaris Chella. We crash landed while we were searching for another runabout to find other Starfleet officers. I was there for that one. I had to try and disable the thing. It was quite difficult.
And you managed.
I did, yes. I noticed that it was just emitting energy. So I figured that, well, if it's like any other kind of EPS conduit or anything with energy, that if you disrupt it, it could shut down. So I fired a phaser at it. It worked. After a few modifications to the phaser, of course.
And all of your notes detailing what you've discovered from these artifacts have been logged properly.
As far as I know, Admiral, yes. I logged them the usual way that we do, through the usual channels.
Now, this is the most important question that I have for you, Lieutenant. Of all the artifacts that you've seen, have they all been logged and inventoried in accordance to procedure?
Now I'd have to think back on that. I would have to check with Sam. Do I think that they've all been logged? I'm sure I wasn't there for every single one, but yeah, I'm pretty confident.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Admiral. Every single one, as far as I know. Chief Petty Officer Burrell, she runs a tight station. Yeah.
We'll see. I'm going to give you a directive.
Oh, okay.
Any research, writing, notes, recollections that you have on these artifacts, I want them turned over to my team. From this point forward, what you know, you do not know. Is that understood?
I think so, Admiral.
Nothing lasts forever, Lieutenant Harvey. It is my job to look for any threats to the Federation. And so far as I can see, the end of the Federation will either come from malice or ignorance. Today, you are going to ensure that it is not ignorance. Do you understand?
I do, Admiral, yes.
I want everything that you have within the next hour. You are dismissed.
Yes, Admiral. And Harvey will get up and very quickly leave the room.
Hey,
Sam?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Harvey has actually done his own little research on these, because he's trying to figure out sensory, with the where ships get thing and they get rocky and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to adapt that to the freighter. But is that different to the artifacts? Do you think that's different to the artifacts?
would hardly think that's different to the
Probably,
artifacts.
because
Or are you linking the phenomena in the Expanse to the artifacts that you have discovered?
probably not yet.
Okay.
Probably not yet. Because this has happened before any artifacts were discovered, right? This has been going on. So yeah, he wouldn't link that yet. Okay. But in other words, he will get every piece of information he knows about the artifact. That even his own little ideas, maybe in a personal log that he might have thought.
Yeah.
He will send everything.
Cool.
I would also just like to have someone covertly do a sweep of the stuff to try and make sure we get everything, if that's at all possible. I'll spin a threat for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, and then I want Burrell next.
You've got your threat, haven't you? All right. Chief, it's your turn, and you are hanging out with Rory, Chief Petty Officer Tien, the Denobulan, kind of chief of like the hangar bay, and the flight operations. And she's just kind of pacing up and down as you guys are kind of, I don't know, kind of quarantined here almost like a little bit in a kind of, unofficial kind of way. You're just up on probably overlooking the big flight decks below, through this kind of window. And she's just pacing up and down. Like, I can't believe like what is this nonsense? Like,
I think Burrell is sat in a chair and she looks like outwardly quite relaxed. You know, she's kind of slumped back in the chair. She's got like a pad maybe that she's just sort of flicking through. She's like, "You're gonna wear a hole in that floor if you keep going like that."
You look far too comfy. Far too comfy.
What do you mean?
How many Starfleet admirals have you experienced outside of life on the station?
This would be my second after Admiral Headbutt.
There is a long line of Starfleet admirals who have done some really stupid things in the history of the Federation. There's a litany of them.
Right.
It's like you can flip a coin. They're either great and they back you up and they're fantastic, or it's like Admiral Strawman turns up and tells you you're running an awful operation and there's some directive or other.
Then Burrell gets up and she like comes over to him and like puts her hands on her shoulders. It's gonna be okay. We'll make it through. What happens to these Admiral Strawmen in the end?
Blow themselves up or something, I guess. I don't know.
Well, if we hear a spontaneous combustion from one of the upper decks, we know it's him.
I guess.
But also,
or it could be the obelisk exploding or something, I guess.
But also, and she sort of leans in, the station's full of Klingons. If this Admiral is one of these malintent admirals, he's not going to get away with it.
Yeah. Is Kargan even involved? Like, he wasn't at the briefing.
At that, Burrell kind of looks a little like frustrated, a little bit on the border of like angry about it. She's like, no, he wasn't there at the briefing. I don't know if he's even been told. I feel like he should be told.
And that smacks of Starfleet Command nonsense protocol.
Yeah.
Smacks of it. This is bad news. This is bad news. I'm telling you.
I know that I am Starfleet now, and I have to follow the chain of command, but it's not right.
Hey, you use that to your advantage. If like things kick off, like you could actually like be the one that really helps us out, because you like tread that line, right?
Well, a week after I've just come back from being suspended.
Suspension. I've been suspended like 3 times.
What did you do?
I kind of crashed a moon into it. I'm not going to go into it.
Okay. Like a moon.
Yeah. And then the doors swish open behind her, and she's like, "Oh, okay, thank the maker." And there's a security commander, big, tall, human guy, just stands in front of you there, just says, Chief Burrell, come with me, please.
Right. And she just nods. She turns back to Tien. Just like, wish me luck.
I'm gonna go out on my own.
And Burrell just turns and follows the guy.
Okay. And eventually, after being walked up to the Starfleet intelligence offices on the ops deck, you are greeted to a small room with a Admiral inside.
Hey, Pharrell, have a seat.
Burrell stands. She says, if it's all the same to you, Admiral, I prefer to stand.
Do I need to give an order?
And she just takes a moment. There's like a beat where she just stares at you before she says, all right, and sits.
I see here you were suspended.
I was.
For?
Officially? What was my official reason? I don't think we actually came up with like an official reason why Burrell was suspended.
It's going to be some bogus nonsense about like wielding a weapon at an ambassador or something like that. It's very like technicality type thing. Yeah, it would be like threatening or brandishing a weapon to an allied diplomatic envoy.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, I brandished a weapon at a allied envoy.
I can read the pat. Officer, I asked you why were you suspended?
It's a long story, Admiral, including a blood feud which has raged between my family and another family for many years.
I hear you run a tight ship, tight crew.
I do.
You've recently come in contact with a number of artifacts that have had some peculiar effects on the ship and your crewmen. Would you like to tell me more about that?
Well, I'm afraid there's not a lot I can tell you about the artifacts themselves, sir. I wasn't particularly involved with activation, deactivation thereof of either of them. In the first instance, I was protecting my squad from a Romulan attack. In the second, I was in the holodeck minding my own business.
If you run as tight of a squad as I assume, then you would know anyone and everyone who's had hands on those artifacts. Am I wrong in this thinking?
Within my team, yeah.
Good, I will need those names. Has everything in regards to the artifacts been logged appropriately as is procedure?
To my knowledge, yes, I've received reports from each of my crew who have dealt with the artifact. Once it's in the science team's hands, that's out of my hands.
But you can get me the names of everyone involved in the science team that you've handed it over to, correct?
I can.
You will. I need to know that every piece, every artifact that you discovered is accounted for. I cannot have any piece of loose technology amongst your crew or elsewhere unaccounted for. Can you
Understood.
ensure that that happens?
I certainly can.
Good. They were making great progress. I'm going to give you and your team a directive. I've already given the directive to Lieutenant Harvey, and now I'm giving it to you. Any information that you have in regards to the artifact, any recollections, notes, research, study, anything, I need it handed over to me and my team within the hour. Anything withheld, well, that would make me very unhappy. Officer Burrell, I did not come here to be unhappy.
You see Burrell's eyes narrow just a fraction, and she's been holding a very stoic face the entire time you've been talking to her. This is the first glimpse of something breaking through, and she just nods, understood.
I kind of, he's just gonna kind of lock in on that. Is there a way that I can to kind of see what that was, if it's all the same to you?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you guys to roll off against each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so Susie, what you're gonna do is you are gonna decide how many dice you want to roll. We're gonna figure out your roll, then we're actually gonna roll it, and that's gonna be Noir's difficulty. Okay. So this is gonna be, if you're trying to mask what you're thinking in some fashion, because you're not, you know, this is quite a tense situation as well anyway, so you're going to be guarded, I think. Presence and either command or security. Your choice.
I go security.
Cool, okay. How many dice would you like to roll? Would you like to use any determination? Anything like that before you roll?
Yes, I would actually like to use my determination.
Okay. What value?
Oh, yes, right. I need a value. Does violence is not always the answer apply here, because historically, if anyone was trying to like dig into Burrell or like, you know, try and like get stuff out of her, she just punched them in the face. But she's learning about Starfleet and pacifism, and she's not gonna just lay out this admiral.
Yeah, okay, you got me. Okay, yeah, you can apply that.
Woo. Okay. Do
you want to apply it before you roll so that you get the 2 successes, or do you want to save it for a reroll?
If I leave it for a reroll, I can reroll any number, right? Or is it just one?
Any number.
Okay. No, I'm gonna apply before. I remember somewhere in Nottingham there's probably a ginger man going, "Get the static, not the die."
Yeah, always. Okay, so you have now a third die, a third d20 that has already rolled a 1, giving you 2 successes. Do you want to roll an extra die on top of that at all? Or even an extra 2?
I'm thinking about the drama here.
Whack it up to 11, come on.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna roll an extra 1. I'm gonna spend that momentum.
Cool. You want to roll basically like all 5 dice, and one of them's already rolled a 1?
Yeah, fuck, why not?
And I'll do the maths for you. Cool.
YOLO.
Right. So it's gonna cost you another 2 for the 4th dice. So that's that, and then that's that, and then it's gonna cost you another 3 for the final die.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay. So roll 4 dice for me, and also we'll apply 2 successes after this roll.
Gotcha. Boop.
So it's 4 successes with a complication. Which means that I think this is actually going to be difficulty 3 for Noir. So Noir, this is going to be insight and command or security.
Let's do command.
Cool. Do you have any focuses you think apply to this as well?
Psychology.
Yes. Love that. Is that what I gave him? I don't remember. Beautiful.
Also, I have authoritative when explaining orders, or subordinate tries to persuade him otherwise. I can buy an additional die and may reroll any d20s.
Okay, Yeah. So if you buy some dice now, you could re-roll that dice pool just because you did that.
I think I'm going to buy.
We've got 10 threat. So like you can spend 1, 3, or 6 threat right now to roll 1, 2, or 3 extra die.
I'll spend 3.
Okay. You've got 2 in your personal pool, so I'm going to take 1 off, okay?
Awesome. So how many die does that mean I'm rolling now?
You're rolling 4 dice.
Okie dokie.
You got your focus on. You got your stats set. Let's go. So we've got 4 successes there on a difficulty 3, wasn't it? Because we lowered it. Gives me a threat back. Beep-a-doop. Which means that the Admiral is the winner of that contest. So, remind me what this was all about again before we went into all the drama
gave a
numbers.
Flicker of something. She'd been holding her face very stoic, but when he was like, "I want everything within the hour," fucking personal logs, all this stuff, I was like,
I want to see what that break was about. Like, is that like a defiant break, or is that like a oh crap kind of break? Like,
so as you clearly won the thing there, it's not a defiant, or it's not like a oh crap. It's a bristle at the demand for like personal logs and things like that. And this is suspicion. Like, why does he want all of this information? It's all available. Every log, everything we've got is all there for anyone with the clearance to see it. He clearly does. He's an admiral. Why does he want everything? And so Burrell's like, you know, with that conversation she just had with Tien and the Admiral not General Kargan not involved, she's all like, so there's something there.
So as soon as the face happens, he stops talking. Takes a second. The directive stands, but I think I need to make something very clear. My number 1 priority is the safety of the Federation. I know the history of admirals in the Federation. We tend to come in 3 flavors. The good ones, the bad ones, and the necessary ones. I want you to know, Officer Burrell, I am the necessary. I will have everything within the hour, or you will become my new pet project. You may leave.
That's me freaking out. Burrell, she holds your gaze. She sees that attempt to intimidate. And she, you know, she's served 15 years in the KDF. She's a scary lady herself. She holds your gaze for just a moment before she gets up and walks out. God damn, Noir. Jesus.
I've been wanting to be a bad girl for so long. It's the dream come true.
I love that
Admiral.
so much. Oh my god. Somebody clip that, please. Okay.
Then the very last person that I have on my briefing here is a Dr. Linares Cella.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So a very diminutive Ryzen comes into your office with a stack of pads and just sort of sits down.
Doctor.
Admiral?
Recently, you and your crewmates have come upon a number of artifacts that have had, well, let's just say, interesting occurrences. The first question that I need to ask you is, have you noticed any abnormalities in the behavior of anyone that has come in contact with these artifacts?
Well, other than the exo of the Venture, I have not noticed any abnormalities. I put down a pad. The first officer of the Venture, a Ryzen gentleman, came into my sick bay complaining of migraines and headaches. We noticed that it was caused by a low-level EMP field that the artifacts seemed to produce. It's all there in my log.
Who else has seen your logs?
Only high-level staff with clearance, of course. And, of course, several of these are covered by patient confidentiality. But as we are members of Starfleet, that doesn't necessarily apply to upper levels with appropriate clearance.
You're going to give me the names of everyone that saw your logs.
Certainly. Admiral Hebert saw my logs. So did Dr.
Not now. There's going to be a collection of data, everything that you have in regards to the artifact, anyone involved with the artifact in the period of its discovery, and anyone who has observed these logs.
Certainly, sir.
And when I say that you will be turning in this information, I think I need to make it very clear that there will be no other copies of this information. Is that understood?
Understood perfectly, General. Admiral. Apologies.
Do you know, can you say for sure, for certain, that no one else has suffered any ill health effects due to these artifacts?
Well, there was the small problem with the Orions, sir.
Elaborate.
Well, there was an Orion pleasure barge that approached the station under the guise of providing shore leave to certain individuals on the staff. There were several people that did partake. However, it was a bit of a ploy, it seems, by the Captain Elrule. The initial artifact, the obelisk that we had discovered, was found on a mining planet that was under her control, and she was quite unhappy when the Federation took it, as she claimed eminent domain and rights to the artifact that we had taken from that position.
This is good to know. This is this information is in your logs as well, correct?
Well, my logs mostly pertain to the Orion gentleman that tried to plug himself into the obelisk in an attempt to garner information about it.
Is that right?
I had to treat his injuries after the fact.
And what were those injuries?
It was a bit of electromagnetic issues with the data jack that he had used to try and tap into the energies of the obelisk. It caused electromagnetic disturbances throughout the station.
Did this individual survive?
Yes, full recovery was handed over to, I believe, station security.
Good. I think I would like to have a conversation with them. I need all of the information requested within the hour. Any personal musings, anything at all in regards to this.
Spreads out the pads.
I think he's gonna collect them. Yeah, he's just gonna straight up collect them, put them on his side of the table. If only the rest of your crew was so forthcoming.
I'm nothing if not hospitable, sir.
But I do wonder, Are you so forthcoming as to present the illusion that you have given everything without holding anything for yourself?
Sir, on my planet we have a saying. What is mine is free to give to you.
Orion, right?
Ryzen, actually,
Oh.
people often come to Ryza for.
I am aware of what people come to Ryzen for.
It's quite lovely, sir. If a little dull, that's why I signed up for Starfleet.
Most people sign up for Starfleet to end up in Ryzen. Funny how that works.
You can only do so much in paradise.
Thank you.
Of course, Admiral.
If you happen to notice any signs of rebellion among your team, I would hope that one of the things that you'd freely share would be that bit of information.
Sir, I don't know anyone in Starfleet to be actively insubordinate. At least not willingly or unnecessarily.
If that were true, we wouldn't be giving out suspensions now, would we? You're free to go.
Yes, sir. Stands up and leaves. You've got Chella's just the sweetest bean.
She is. I want to be more mean to her, and I couldn't.
No, you can't. It's impossible.
All right. Noir, is there anything else that you want to do whilst you're on board the station? The artifacts are collected up. Harvey, you're witness to the fact that they're all taken on board the larger shuttle runabout-y type thing. They just about managed to fit the obelisk in or something, I don't know how that works, but they're taking they're taking the artifacts with them. You're witness to that. But yeah, is there anything else you want to do in terms of investigation or anything like that?
I would like to use the last of my threat, if I could, to leave to send Burrell a bottle of blood wine that is tapped.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Okay, so
sorry,
think...
Susie, I love
I
you.
Swear to God, Noir. One of these days.
I think for the narration, you enter your quarters after all of this. It's been grueling, and it's been going over now. Probably the whole thing has been going over maybe a couple of days. So things are being gathered up. The scientific teams have been putting together all the artifacts in the safest manner possible, hand them over to Starfleet intelligence, essentially. Dr. Talia Farrow, if you remember, she is Federation. She is not Starfleet, and she is fuming at the fact that these artifacts have been taken by the Admiralty. So she is just spitting feathers at this.
Can we take her personal notes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, we're doing it anyway. Bad real time. Woo!
Yeah. And so you enter your quarters, tired and emotionally exhausted as well from this whole endeavor. And you see that bottle of cracked blood wine on the kind of coffee, the sci-fi coffee table in front of you. The Art Deco Star Trek quarters decor. That tapped bottle.
Yeah, I think she looks at it And she like scratches her head. She's trying to think, is there any occasion she's missed? Did she accidentally miss her own birthday or anything like that? Or is it a Klingon holiday she's missed? None of that rings a bell. I think she's just so tired that she's just like, yay, free booze. And she just like flops on her bed and just, it sits there in the frame.
Yeah, but like off out the window as well to try to like punctuate the scene, like the Admiral shuttle, then you can see departing away from the station out of your like viewport window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would like to say though, Burrell at some point would have gone to, or at least tried to speak to General Cargan just to register her extreme displeasure at this whole thing. Like she the vibes are off, and she's like,
I'd love to do that next time as well, actually.
Yeah.
Like for the part 2. But there is a there's like a have I got it? The thing? Nah. There's like a chirp at your monitor.
And she sort of sits up on her bed, rubs her face, and she presses the monitor.
And there's no one on the monitor, but there's an LCARS display for a text message. That sounds weird to say, but like a text-based like little message. Mm-hmm. And it's like left aligned. It's not like big letters or anything. It's little left aligned. It's what you'd imagine you'd read a little report or read a little note from, something like that. And in the small, Helvetica that's on the LCARS system, it just says Lexington.
Lexington?
Mm-hmm.
Does that ring any bells for Rel?
Make me a reason and con check. Difficulty is going to be 3.
Okay. Would I like some threat?
Yeah.
Okay.
How much?
I'm gonna add 2 die onto that because
Ooh, okay.
It's difficulty 3. I gotta get
going
it.
in. You going in?
Yeah, I'm going in. I want to know. I'm nosy. So blah blah blah. I don't have anything I could use for this. I don't think.
It would be something like Starfleet records, that kind of thing. No, okay, no, all good.
Okay, bloop. She's tired. 1 success.
Yeah, no, she's tired. That's fair.
Brain mush.
So you don't know immediately what Lexington is or means necessarily, and there's no immediate obvious sender for this message as well either.
Yeah, so no address, no sort of like giveaways. It came through on the LCARS system. Okay. Borelli's gonna try with her own little tricorder she's got at home, just to see if she can do any little beep whoops, to see if she can try and figure out where this message has come from, who it's come from, because this is really strange.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is definitely going to be like engineering, I think, because it's kind of your base about looking at the actual like how the computers dealt with this, and what attribute do you want to use? What approach are you using with it? Something like insight or reason.
Yeah, probably insight.
Insight, cool. Yeah, no problem.
We'll go insight.
And Tom, do you want to roll for the ship? Not the ship, the station as well.
Yeah, sure.
So this could be like computers and con, I would say. Well, no, communications. The communication system, right? Communications and con. Are you all right finding the sheet?
Yeah, I got it.
It's way down there. There you go.
Nope.
Oh my god.
Boo. Okay.
Why?
Hey, don't blame me. Blame the station.
Difficulty 2, I guess.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna do a straight roll.
Okay.
If not, Harvey, you're getting a call. Oh, 1.
No, it's there is very little data, and I use those words specifically as to how or where from this transmission was transmitted.
Okay. Well, Burrell's usual partner in crime is currently on holiday somewhere. So, Harvey, you get a little chirp on your communicator.
Wait, I got it. Wait. Hold on a minute.
Harvey, I'm not just disturbing you, am I?
No. Anything you need, Chief?
Yeah, can you stop by my quarters real quick?
Oh, you're caught. Sure. Okay.
First time she's ever asked you to do that, by the way.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there now.
All right, see you in a bit.
Okay. We're gonna leave you just there. We'll pick up with you guys next time. We need to go back to the planet. We need to go back to the planet. We've got a date with Jagadish. So we're going to go to that. Some scrammy planet. There we are. And you have. Why did I get my calculator? That's not what I wanted. And you have 10 minutes.
Oh, geez, you're actually timing this.
We're coming to near the end, so
It's true. All right. Did you get what you set out to do? I'm assuming because you're here.
it's not perfect, but it manages to suppress the whole thing. And he looks around, and you notice as well that there's an Orion female in the back. She looks equally kind of like a little bit disheveled. She looks like she works here. She's not in very fancy clothing or anything like that. And she's also kind of like tapping away at a few of the controls and stuff. She doesn't look like she's paying attention either, but he does look round at her. And it means I can withstand what Elrul was, trying to do and trying to influence me, but it's not perfect. But that's why she's locked me up.
That's why she's got you making the
fucking Therigen.
The poison that you made for the Klingons. Do you have proof of who told you to make it?
Yeah, maybe.
Any logs? Anything?
I've got a thumbprint of the guy that transferred the latinum to me, but he was just some Klingon randomer. He was like, he was an idiot. I'm sorry, he was an idiot.
Might be the one that I broke the elbow of. Here's the deal. Can you get me that thumbprint? Do you have it still?
Can you get me out of here?
That's going to be a little tricky.
It's going to be a little tricky to find the pad with the thumbprint on it. Please, I gotta get out of here. Please.
If I let you out of here, I'm burning a huge bridge.
But it sounds like you need it.
I need a target off of my friend's back. And I think you can help with that.
Willing, if not able.
All right.
I have a suggestion to put forward that might help you save face. thing. You might not like it, and it's gonna hurt. But for the right price, we will do it. Well, you say you can't burn bridges. We're not too fussy for the right price. What I say we done ya, and we shift out with him. You're left here. Say that we betrayed you.
Working for Elrul's competition. I sort of say that like really, really low.
I mean, to make an enemy of her, I mean, we're gonna need quite a bit of, you know what I mean? Quite a big bonus.
Right, let's make it good then.
Right, okay.
One of my former lives. Let's talk about Agi Eka. AJI. Agi Eka was an amazing performer. Used in several Hollow novels as actually an actor at one point.
Nice.
So I would like to use my joined talent to get the temporary focus performance.
Nice. I love it. Okay. So you're gonna stun them.
Yep. I'm gonna essentially. They're gonna get ready for the performance. I'm just gonna put a phase pistol and shoot her on stun.
Yeah, shoot them on stun. All right.
That's what I'm gonna do. Or Terry. Actually, Terry will do it. She's a better shot.
I'm gonna start saying a little louder. So this whole operation that you've got going here, you're the mastermind behind this. I say to Jagadish very loudly, "You're the mastermind behind this. You've got all the formulas?
All of them."
And I sort of look at the two I look at the two of them.
I know, Terry.
Fetch a very high price on the black market.
Listen, I don't want any of that action, but I don't know that I can help you with. I don't know that I can help you get out of here. I'm too rich for my blood, and I'm going to turn and head towards the door. And I think I want a dramatic, aim it for when I'm in the door frame.
Yes.
And I'm gonna let them stun me and do what they need to do to get and stun me and let them do what they need to do to get onto the ship.
We were just essentially gonna beam out, right?
Yeah, but if they abandon me and the ship leaves orbit.
All right. Look good.
Look
real.
Make it look real good.
Yeah. So Terry, I need a daring and security check from you.
Okay.
And Eka, I need a presence and command assist roll from you with that focus.
Would love to. I have the focus. Let's go.
I'm not gonna lie, gang. I went to pee and I came back and I'm shooting Eka. What's happening?
Okay, so the plan is that you overheard how there's this person that is making a whole bunch of cool black market drugs that is probably pretty valuable to someone else, maybe the right bidder. So y'all are gonna betray Eka to betray Eka.
Okay. Do we want to spend any momentum on this,
or spend some threat? It's close to the end, so let's
go for it.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for broke.
Okay. Do I trust Terry's ability? She's a brand new character. I haven't rolled on her.
Yeah.
I assume you're better at security and shooting people than I am.
I like to hope so.
Yeah.
Let's buy an extra die with some threat.
Okay.
Just one more.
Just that one. Lucky 13 on the threat now. Let's do it.
It's gonna be fine. Blip. Oh,
What's
2
the
successes.
difficulty?
This is going to just establish like a kind of difficulty for people figuring out what's going on.
So it's 4
Those
successes. I crit.
Oh,
Okay, that's beautiful. Yeah. So with 4 successes, it goes off beautifully. There's like a scream from the back where the Orion woman was working. But I'm going to spend 3 threat, and as soon as that stun pistol goes off, Tom, it's not Mexi. What am I thinking of? Kerry. As soon as Kerry like taps on that, or Tadok's still here, right? Tadok's also
Yeah.
here.
It's essentially like we've got to push a button and we beam up.
Yeah. So I'm going to spend a 3 threat. You push that button, and you push it again a couple times, and then across the facility, there's that alert as potentially some shielding has gone up, something like that. In order for the place, like as soon as the scanners have detected like disruptor fire and stuff, things have started to get a little bit more locked down. And so over the comms, there is oh man, we're dead on 10 as well. Went on me for looking at my watch at that time. As the 10 minutes hits dead on, there's a voice through the intercom of Elarul. She's asking, "Are you done? What's going on down there?"
Carrie looks at Carrie, and she's like, "I don't know what to do."
Mimic them.
What do you mean?
Do a voice.
You do their voice. I can't do their
I'll
voice.
do-
Even though I
Oh.
talk, I can't talk like that.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, you go. Get the talker anyway. I'm the shooter.
Oh, I don't.
Looking down at Ekka on the ground.
How did they speak?
I don't know, all fancy and like
All right.
their own stuff, and they're
I got
rich
it,
and they've
I
got
got it.
money, and there's like 8 of them or something. I don't know how it works.
I got it. I'm going to push the button to communicate. Yes, everything is fine.
And the communicator like bips a couple times to close off the communication, and that's when a couple of disruptor shots whip past your ear in towards the door frame, and spark and smash onto the door frame itself. And that is where we will pause the Secrets of Bacchus. We'll rejoin the gang next week for part 2.
A fucking Rodney and Del Boy doing this mission.
Yeah,
the idea was good. I just didn't know they had that sophisticated technology. We should have just beamed out straight away.
God.
And that 10th threat is going to stay there until beginning of next session too, as
of course
it's the end of the adventure that we've reset. So yeah, all right, that was Secrets of Bacchus part 1. Amazing. All right, let's go around and let's decompress, see how that was for everybody. Anita, besides the gay panic, how was that?
Yeah, that was so much fun. Everybody did such an incredible job. And like, I love the 2. Hi, do you want to come say hello to the people as well?
Show us the cat.
Busted in here like the Kool-Aid man. Yeah. That was so fun, and I love my 2 mercenary goobers. Hi, everybody. I'm Anita, otherwise known as Benito or Critical Misses. I do TTRPG things. This is Watson. He's a good little guy. You can find me places. Just follow me on the socials and you'll see where I am. But yeah, this is so fun, y'all. And also, I love Noir's Admiral. Noir's Admiral is just so good.
So good.
And I'm sad that like this is a one-off. We need to bring him back.
For sure. a little reprisal at some point. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Oh no. That's why I was taking pot shots, because I knew I could run afterwards.
Oh, I see. Okay, can't bring you back.
No,
Burning bridges.
No. Oh, I mean, that's why I left a little F you to Burrell. And you're gonna have that conversation in a tapped room. I can't wait.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I thought of that. Love it. Love it. All right, Tom. How was
Oh, that was so much fun. I loved it.
Disaster Mercenaries.
Disaster Mercenaries. Look. They're trying to find their feet. They're not too bad. The heart is in the right place, you know. And if they pull this off, they're getting a very nice bonus. So, you know.
Definitely.
It's going to be worth it. It's exactly what a stupid mercenary would think of.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You know. He's probably thinking he's really smart, thinking, "Oh yeah, we'll do one over on them." But we'll be fine. We'll either shoot our way out or we'll figure something out. It'll be fine. No problem.
Yeah, for sure.
No problem.
Definitely. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter with Hot Flakes Tom, and on the Discord with follow Black Cats and Modiphius. I'm on there. I also am on Thursdays on Follow Black Cats for Blood and Sand, which is our Game of Thrones TTRPG set in the time of Nymeria, like a long time before Game of Thrones, a long time. Really, really cool. I play a lovable knight, very wholesome, very nice. So that's a lot of fun. And occasionally I'm on Susie's stream when she games, depending on if it's a multiplayer game or something like that. But yeah, apart from me, that's pretty much it for the moment.
Lovely, thanks so much. And thank you so much to Noir as well. What an absolutely outstanding Admiral. Just more than I could have ever hoped for.
Thank you guys for having me. Sam, thank you so much for like guiding me like into like asking the right questions in like the nicest, kindest way. Like I was like, oh, oops, and like you came in so clutch. So thank you for that. And yeah, thank y'all for letting me come in and play with you for a bit. I'm sorry, Susie. You know I love you.
Ruined that now.
Yeah, but that's me, everybody. Thank you, bye.
No, where can we find you?
All right, I forgot to do the things.
What are you doing? Where are you up
to? Let's see. Every Friday you can find me over on Gen Con TV. We report the TTRPG news. We've got a lot to talk about in terms of preparing for Gen Con and new games coming out. I know a certain company that just dropped a game today that we're going to be talking about. Every Saturday morning, you can find me over on Critical Misses for Morning Ritual. I believe our guest for this week is Jess the writer.
Jess Levine, or Jess from online. Jess wrote I Have the High Ground, Going Rogue, and a couple others.
And then every Monday you can find me over on stream on Q Times, where I play with the Stream Punks, and we're playing Beacon, our alien game right now. So it's more space stuff, but less cheery and hopeful. But I play a doctor who's the opposite of this admiral, who's nice.
Nice. Good. So this is a nice change of pace.
I know, right? I got to get in my villain era. It felt good.
Yeah. Welcome back to it. It's always my games.
I was like, Oppenheimer wasn't really a bad. He's more of a misunderstood.
Sure.
What did you call your drones again?
All right, that's my time, everybody. Thank you so much.
Susie, that wasn't so bad, Susie.
Wasn't it?
No.
Wasn't it? No, it was great. Yeah, no, my room's bugged and I'm getting weird messages from people I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's fine. I would just like to state for the record, the do not accept Noir's revisionist history. Check the tapes, see what was left of London by the time Oppenheimer was done with it.
Uncle Ben was in one piece with Oppenheimer.
Oh, Ben.
That's what I was looking for. That face right there.
That was a war crime, let alone what you did in that game. Okay,
Man
Susie,
on the boat,
please
the
tell us.
helicopter. But anyway, when I'm not despairing at Noir's antics, you can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace. I am a variety streamer. I mainly stream video games these days. But as Tom said on Thursdays, you can find me over at the Follow Black Cats channel, where I GM Blood and Sand, which is our Game of Thrones campaign. And it's on again this week. And if things play out right, we should have a Millie and a Charlie with us this week. So we're going to catch up with the Wayward Kavos sisters to see what they're up to with their little booze cruise with their potential assassin suspect with them. Who knows? Who could say? But tune in for that. So that's going to be this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you very much, friends. As for me, you can find me around the internet at RPG Webby, and you can find Modiphius at modiphius.net or modiphius.us. And be sure to check out dreamsandmachines.com for more information on our hot new IP that we dropped more information on today. It's a hopeful post-apocalyptic sci-fi adventure. It's a whole new world waiting to invite brand new adventurers into. So take a look at that, take a look at what we've got in store for you, and we'll have more and more information and more products coming up over the course of the year, leading up to Gen Con, obviously, and then further into the rest of the year. Well done to our winners for our competition to roll this here module that we're using to play on Roll20. So you grab yourself a Star Trek Adventures core rulebook module, fit with all of the sheets and the compendium for you. It's all searchable rules and stuff in there. Well done to VLOOKUP123 and well done to Matt Capici. I hope I said that right. So well done, Capiche, Matt Capiche. I got it now. There you go. Well done to the both of you. We will be back next Tuesday with part 2 of the Secrets of Bacchus. Before then, we'll be back on the channel where April will be running more of our Fallout 2D20 game, Winter of Atom. That's a new campaign book that's coming out properly very shortly. So coming on in for that on the Monday. See you again on Tuesday. And until then, live long and prosper. There you go, Noir. I knew you'd do it.